This is not going to be about politics, it's about political messaging. Now, what do I mean by that? At its most basic level, well, let me tell you a story. The first politician I ever met was Harold Wilson. He came into a green room because he was going to do an interview at Lime Grove with the BBC, and he was sitting there with a group of people around him, and he was smoking a cigar. And just before he went out to do the interview, one of his aides came to him with a little box, and he opened it, and he took out of it a pipe, took away the cigar and the lighter.
To maintain something of a low profile in the debate, born of...
At the end of the interview, Harold gave back the pipe and the matches and took back his cigar and his lighter. The pipe was part of his messaging, showing him as an unflappable man of substance in admittedly troubled times.
My friend, we do not support savages, we just allow them to come to our meetings, that's all.
Since the demise of the political meeting, not the rally, the political meeting, and not the televised political meeting, the real political meeting, we've lost contact between the voter and the politician.
We have now heard the leading arguments for the two candidates for the high office of United States Senator from Illinois, Judge Stephen A. Douglas and Mr. Abraham Lincoln. Each of the candidates will now speak in rebuttal. Judge Douglas.
The Lincoln-Douglas debates of 1858 were 7 3-hour, closely argued confrontations, drawing a total audience of 20,000 people. That's an average of 3,000 a night.
You like Ike, I like Ike, everybody likes Ike for president.
But with the advent of mass media, radio and TV, voters have become consumers of the political message, not participants in shaping it. And that's not how democracy is supposed to work. Politicians have begun to be sold like canned soup. In Britain, for many decades, the consultant class held firm to the post-war model. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the tribal leader.
You will understand me when I say that it's with a mixture of sorrow and pride that I speak to you as Prime Minister of Britain.
There will be a new beginning. There will be new hope.
What we want is a society in which there is fairness.
Who would best defend our freedom, our way of life?
Today, people own homes, shares, savings, cars, small businesses, in a way they would never have dreamed possible, even a few years ago.
But as the electorate became more sceptical of politicians, the consultants suggested the candidates should be more, how should we put it, relatable.
Hey Boris, you alright?
I'm good, how are you?
What's been on your mind today?
Well, I can't hide it from you. I've been thinking a bit about this general election campaign.
And how do you typically start your day?
I tend to get up pretty early and then I go down and take the dog for a walk, and dog does his business and so on and so forth. That's my start to the day.
Now here's another example of humour at work. It's an American political ad from 2016, and it was local, but it garnered millions of views internationally. It's charming and witty, and it won the candidate re-election and made his wife a star.
Gerald really doesn't have any hobbies.
Last year's tax rate was 0.4169. This year, we could take that down to 3.838.
So is he always like that?
Yeah, all the time.
Which means that the 3838 is probably going to go somewhere between 3838 and 41.69.
All he wants to do is fix things.
So I got this 18-wheeler that's parked in this neighborhood, spewing fumes all over the place, but quite frankly, it's not a code violation. You know, I think I like helping around the house here.
Please re-elect Gerald. Please.
Now that's funny, and it's excellent filmmaking, but where are the policies? How did we get from campaign songs and men sitting behind desks telling us what they believed into little sitcoms and flashy documentaries? This is how we got there.
It's morning again in America. Today, more men and women will go to work than ever before in our country's history. With interest rates at about half the record highs of 1980, nearly 2,000 families today will buy new homes, more than at any time in the past 4 years. This afternoon, 6,500 young men and women will be married. And with inflation at less than half of what it was just 4 years ago, they can look forward with confidence to the future.
And they do say the sincerest form of flattery is imitation.
There are times in the life of a nation
when the choices we make define the character of our country. Times when people stand up and demand real, significant change.
This election is about the type of country we want to be. Do we want to be a country that backs those who wake up early, get the kids ready, go to work, and put in the hours to provide for their families?
There was another important moment in the history of political advertising, and this time it's from the UK. I remember clearly sitting in front of my TV watching this in real time and thinking, what's going on here? This is a mixture of Morning in America and Cinema Verite. It's an attempt to create an insight into the created personality of a campaigner.
Now, a party election broadcast by the Labour Party.
If you'd said to me at sort of 18, 19, you're going to be a politician, I would have said, forget it. Anything else, anything but being a politician.
Why? On what grounds? Why?
Because I thought politicians were complete pains in the backside. You okay? And there is a part of you that constantly wonders whether it is worth staying in politics because of all the rubbish that you have to do. I mean, you just have to do it. You've just got to keep a grip of yourself and hope that your humanity sees you through and in the end, understand why you want to be in it.
And when I travel from town to town, I see Americans going through the same things that my family went through. And I'm reminded of what my mother always said. Imagine what it's like being in somebody else's shoes.
Now's the time we've been waiting for. This moment. It's an opportunity that we don't want to miss. An opportunity to build a better, fairer future for New Zealand, to improve our healthcare, to give everyone a voice, to grow our economy and respect our environment.
I got into politics to help people, like the people I've served here in Papineau for more than a decade. People who work hard to make ends meet. Parents who want to build a better life for their kids. Canadians who want our country to stand for something positive in a world that's grown darker.
Women like me aren't supposed to run for office. I wasn't born to a wealthy or powerful family. Mother from Puerto Rico, dad from the South Bronx. I was born in a place where your zip code determines your destiny. My name is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Well, it's taken us a few years, but I think we got the measure of this kind of ad.
This election, your choice couldn't be more important. Our candidate is in flattering lighting and full bright color. Their candidate is in grainy high-contrast black and white, spotted through a telephoto lens from behind a bush, coming back from God only knows where. Our guy points at the horizon and holds a baby. Their guy doesn't have a baby. Their guy has a golf club.
Now, this sets a problem for the producers of these kinds of movies. They say, okay, we know that you know we're making a commercial. But if you vote for our client, we'll show you that we're making a commercial.
Ready?
Yeah. You just chew for a little bit. You know?
Can you guys hear that dog?
Yes. So awkward, Rob. I'm JD Vance, and I approve this message because...
Like, what is that thing over
It also says, well, I know you're watching a video and you don't think we're sincere, but we're so sincere. We'll show you that we're sincere by making a video about how sincere we are.
Hello. Now, we are in the run-up to a general election, and over that time, you're going to hear loads of claims from people on the left, on the right, all over the place. It's going to drive you mad. It'll probably drive me mad, but don't switch off yet.
I'm not saying that all the politicians here are not sincere or the people who've supported them are not sincere. What I'm saying is that with the misuse of television, it's becoming increasingly difficult for us to believe they're sincere.
Hi, I'm a politician's wife delivering a focus group message from what looks like the cover of Architectural Digest. My practice smile should tell you all's well with the Fulbright house, while my lifeless eyes betray my disgust with my husband's backroom dealings with shady political cohorts. People ask me all the time, what's it like to be a politician's wife? Well, it's a privilege to be a part of the soul-eating circus known as the political machine. That is, once you've given up your dreams of doing something meaningful or worthwhile. So, probably what it feels like to be a voter.